What's up, horror fam? Welcome back to the channel. So for today's episode, we have the latest on an upcoming series that I don't think any of us were expecting, which is Dexter Resurrection. We also have the very first teaser trailer for Return of the Living Dead, and we finally have confirmation of a key actress returning to a slasher franchise from the late 1990s. So let's get into the details. So here we have Dexter Resurrection showrunner reveals series will premiere in June. For 8 seasons and 96 episodes from 2006 to 2013, the series Dexter ran on Showtime, telling the story of Dexter Morgan, a blood splatter analyst for the Miami Metro Police Department, who also a vigilante serial killer. Clyde Phillips was showrunner on Dexter for the first 4 seasons, and in 2021, he and Showtime brought us the revival series Dexter New Blood, which for a time also seemed to be the end of it all, but that's not the case. Showtime has tasked Phillips to continue to build up the Dexter franchise with the prequel series Dexter Original Sin, premiering on the Paramount Plus streaming service as of today, December 13th. The Showtime premiere will follow on December 15th. We're also getting a New Blood follow-up called Dexter Resurrection, and Phillips has revealed to Discussing Film that we'll only have a 6-month wait between Dexter Original Sin and Dexter Resurrection. Phillips said, quote, "We start shooting the first week in January, and it airs in June of 2025. Michael C. Hall played Dexter Morgan in the original series and Dexter New Blood, and also provides the in-character narrative for Dexter Original Sin. He's back in the lead for Dexter Resurrection, and Chris McCarthy, Paramount Global co-CEO and president/CEO Showtime and MTV Entertainment Studios, said in a statement, quote, "We are thrilled to have the brilliant Michael C. Hall reprise his iconic role as Dexter Morgan in Showtime's most successful series ever. While Dexter Resurrection will appeal to the tens of millions of longtime fans, Dexter Original Sin will introduce a whole new generation of viewers into this iconic series by starting from the beginning, which is sure to satisfy existing audiences as well. While we wait to find out what's going to happen in the Resurrection series, we know that Dexter Original Sin follows Dexter in 1991 as a student transitioning into a serial killer in training. When his bloodthirsty urges can no longer be ignored, Dexter finds solace and understanding in Harry as his only confidant. He teaches Dexter a code that's designed to help him find and kill who deserve to die, all while avoiding getting caught by law enforcement. This is a particular challenge for young Dexter as he begins a forensic internship at the Miami Metro Police Department." I'm a fan of the original series. I think like many people up until the last season. The last season just felt very, I think like most shows tend to find themselves in, felt very rushed, and even the series finale was a huge disappointment. No one really wanted us to see, especially for the character Deborah. We all expected something better for Deborah's character, I think. I know I did. The last thing I wanted to see have happen is Dexter taking his comatose sister out of a hospital that they're trying to evacuate due to this hurricane that's coming in. He gets her onto his boat. He starts taking his boat towards the storm, and then prior to getting there, he stops his boat and he drowns her. And you would think with such a connection that they had and that they portrayed that these two had in the show, that wouldn't necessarily be the way you'd want her to go out. Obviously, they're not going to have her. I mean, she knew he was a serial killer. You would hope at some point either she would have died. If she was going to die, have her die a different way, but not at the hands of her brother. And then once he does that, he drives his boat into the storm, and his boat, or the remnants of his boat, is later found. So everyone believes that he's dead until we see him as a lumberjack in a cabin, and then the show just ends. And then obviously we pick up in New Blood. Harrison is much older now. We play through that very short one-time season or series, and how that one ends. Harrison shoots him, and again, we believe Dexter dies, and no one was really happy with that ending either. So I think between the lack of, in my opinion, creativity in the original series of how it ended, the fact that you tried killing him off in the New Blood, now you're doing a prequel, and it was pretty obvious that in some way, if you're gonna have Michael C. Hall doing the narrative, how are you going to explain that? Because I don't know if it would necessarily make sense. Now we know though, for Resurrection and from Original Sin, the reason he's doing the narrative is because he doesn't die at the end of New Blood. He's actually rushed to the hospital. He survives. Now the Original Sin is supposed to be like this flashback, meaning his life is flashing before his eyes as he's been shot and he's at the hospital. So that's how Original Sin is playing out, which then is going to lead us right into Resurrection. It can be interesting to see how they're going to portray the Resurrection episode, the season. Everyone believes he's dead, so are they going to somehow, now that he's at the hospital, find out who he really is, and then will that information get back to Miami where some of the characters are still alive and presumed that, or assumed that he was dead? So we'll have to wait and see, but it looks like we won't have to wait long. Also, we will be doing a full series review of Dexter Original Sin. I know episode 1 just dropped today on the 13th, so we will be reviewing that this weekend and putting up our spoiler review of episode 1 this weekend, so make sure to check that out. So let's jump off to the next topic. Returning of the Living Dead, Tarman returns in teaser trailer for Christmas horror sequel. After 5 films and a 20-year break, the Return of the Living Dead franchise returns next Christmas with a brand new sequel to the original classic, and we've got the teaser trailer. From Living Dead Media and director Steve Walsh, Christmas-themed sequel Return of the Living Dead will be shambling our way for Christmas 2025. The footage shows the iconic return of the Living Dead zombie known as Tarman dragging a Christmas tree through a cemetery as a blizzard rages around him. Watch below. The new story takes place in a small Pennsylvania town over Christmas and is set in 1985, 18 months after the events of the original film. Fans of the film will know not to expect to see any returning characters given their terrible fates in the original. Living Dead Media explains. According to Walsh, this is not a reboot or a remake, but a brand new adventure, and it won't in any way trample the original film's legacy. Audiences can expect to be welcomed back into the dark-humored, sexy, edgy, Trixie-fueled world horror fans first encountered in 1985. Quote, "We captured the practical snow effects swirling against the night sky that gives it an amazing look and texture. It's going to blow people away seeing an entire film made like this," Walsh says of the first look footage. The teaser clip was produced without CGI or green screen, using all practical effects on location. Walsh is committed to making the whole film with the same devotion to old school in-camera storytelling. As an added nod to the original film, we're told Walsh and his team have built this cemetery in much the same manner as Resurrection Cemetery was built for the first film. So I think that's great news. I'm happy that they're not trying to rely on CGI or green screen. Practical effects, in my opinion, are typically always the way to go if you can do it. If you can avoid CGI or green screen, do it. I think practical effects just adds a little bit something special to a film, especially horror films. I understand CGI for some of the gore, some of the kills is going to be pretty obvious, but we have seen plenty of other films use practical effects for that as well, and CGI has been used just slightly just to touch things up, just to make them look just slightly a bit more graphic, but otherwise 99% of the time it is practical effects. So I'm glad to see that this is the route they're going for this film that we're going to be getting. Additionally, the production has called in SFX legend Tony Gardner to establish the zombie look for the story. Tony and his team at Alterian Incorporated were first tasked with creating a Tarman true to the original, but evolved, more realistic and scarier, using decades of experience and modern technology and material to create amazing old school practical effects, Gardner said. To be able to up the horror but be true to its roots, I feel like I'm the perfect person for the job, and I'm really excited. I'm glad to see, it's been a while. 1985, it's been quite some time since 1985. A lot's changed as far as what can be done, from makeup to some of these practical effects to the technology that's available for practical effects. So obviously they're going to utilize that to the best of their ability, but still give us that same, while still giving us a more up-to-date horror feel, still trying to stay as true to that old school practical effects, which again I can fully appreciate and I'm glad to see. So down here below we do have the trailer. We will be doing a trailer review of this teaser. We will put the link to that video in the description of this video, so make sure to jump over there, check out our review and reaction to the teaser trailer, and we will also put the link of this article in the description below, so if you want to check it out there as well, you can do so. All right, moving on to our last topic. So finally, we have confirmation. Jennifer Love Hewitt's I Know What You Did Last Summer legacy sequel return confirmed. Jennifer Love Hewitt will be returning to I Know What You Did Last Summer. She originated the role of Final Girl Julie James in 1997 slasher movie adapted from the Lewis Duncan novel of the same name. The upcoming I Know What You Did Last Summer, due in 2025, is a legacy sequel that's already set to feature Freddie Prinze Jr. and Julie's love interest Ray Bronson. On her official Instagram account, Jennifer Love Hewitt announced that she has now officially joined the cast of the I Know What You Did Last Summer legacy sequel. The image, which has a caption teasing that Julie James is returning and promises that I know what you will be doing next summer, shows Hewitt looking into a mirror covered in notes that read, I know what you did last summer, in a shot reminiscent of Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, Helen Shivers, being menaced in the original movie. See the post below. So here's the post from her Instagram of all the posted notes, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and again, the confirmation that she is in fact returning. This announcement that Hewitt has closed her deal to reprise her original role comes more than a year after it was originally announced that she was in talks to join the I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel in February 2023. I'm excited for this. I think the reason, and we'll put the link of this article in the description of this video below, so if you want to read the rest of these details. So I'm glad that she's returning. It only makes sense if you're going to bring Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character back. It does make sense to bring her character back. They were a couple in the first two, so again, it wouldn't make sense to bring back one, because I think if you did, you'd have to then explain in the film, why isn't she there? Either was she killed, and if she was killed, how did she die, or did she die in a car accident? You know, all those other things you'd have to explain. I think the fans would like to see her come back just as much as I think the fans enjoyed seeing Neve Campbell come back as Sidney Prescott in the Scream series. Again, this makes sense. I know Jennifer Love Hewitt was recently teasing just a couple of days ago that she had some exciting news to share, but she had to wait. So I think we were all anticipating that this was going to be the news. Until you get confirmation, you can't ever assume. But now we have confirmation she is returning for it. I just hope that they don't treat this as if this is going to be, okay, we have Freddie back, we have Jennifer Love Hewitt back, now we're either going to kill them both off, we're going to kill one of them off, and then if we do another sequel, neither one of them return if they happen to survive. I hope they don't do that. Like, again, what they've done with Neve Campbell's character in Scream. Keep them alive, and if you don't want the character anymore, make an exit for the character that doesn't kill them off. Because I think, again, you work this hard to bring such a main character back. The last thing you want to do is just kill them off right away in the sequel that you're trying to make. So once we get the trailer for this, whether it's a teaser or full trailer, we will be covering that. We'll do a review reaction to that once we know it's available. But I think it's going to be a little bit of time before we get that. So more to come on this as the story continues to develop, and as we get more about this film, we'll make sure to share it with you all. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for tonight's episode. I just want to say a quick thank you to all the new subscribers to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. It does help us out a lot. Also, drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about Dexter Resurrection, another Dexter show coming back. Are you looking forward to the next Return of the Living Dead? And are you happy to finally have confirmation that Jennifer Love Hewitt is returning to the I Know What You Did Last Summer series? So until next time, we will see you then. Peace.